This is a fourth stimulus check, stimulus program, and news update. The fourth $2,000 per month stimulus check petition has now gained over 2.1 million signatures so far, and there's a new petition to cancel student loan debt that has gained over 1 million signatures. I'm going to play you a few different video clips, one being from a senator saying that the infrastructure package and American Families Plan will pass through reconciliation. Also, if you are planning on getting the child tax credit monthly, you may want to opt out of it for a few different reasons. I'm also going to give you some other important updates as well. I hope you're having a great day so far. If you appreciate these daily updates, then hit the like button down below. It's a really interesting article here. So the Constitution requires the US to offer vaccine passports. Basically, a vaccine passport is either a piece of paper or it's going to be an electronic app saying that you're fully vaccinated in order to get into a building, activity, or event. Some sporting events are already having this in effect right now, but what it's saying in the future is that if you want to go to a grocery store or a restaurant, you're going to have to show your vaccine passport in order to get in. So according to this article, it's saying that many liberals and libertarians and a slim majority of Americans support them, while many conservatives call them unjust, even unconstitutional discrimination. But it's saying that the U.S. constitutional law is clear that the government can limit certain rights and privileges to the vaccinated, especially during a pandemic. So it refers to this article right here, or this court case back in 1905, Jacobson versus Massachusetts, saying that back then in 1905, the state wanted to mandate everyone get vaccinated for smallpox. But they're pointing to this as it being the constitutional right and the government's right in order to enforce vaccine passports. This is just one article saying this. I'm not saying it's going to happen in the future, but let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Are vaccine passports against our constitutional rights, or should the government do it in order to protect our liberties? It's kind of a really weird twist on words here, but let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. I'll keep you updated on more vaccine passport news. Next, let's talk about the fourth stimulus check and what's happening with that. So there has been a petition. I mentioned this the other day. Millions have signed the petition urging Congress to issue $2,000 monthly stimulus checks to all Americans. So this is the petition right here. I got a lot of questions when I showed this and other people went to it. So even though this picture, it says closed, the petition isn't closed. The people who started this petition, the restaurant closed down, and it's just showing that the restaurant was closed. The petition so far has 2,115,000 signatures so far, and if it gets 3 million signatures, it becomes one of the top signed petitions on change.org. So basically, they want the $2,000 per month stimulus check. It's very popular among civilians, Americans, but in terms of politicians, it's still kind of slowly pushing through. One of the other plans is $2,000 per month and then $1,000 per month after the pandemic is officially over for an entire year. So in terms of the $2,000 check, as well as the entire infrastructure package, it seems like it's just stalled. For a while, there was buildup, things were moving, a lot of proposals, but ever since President Biden mentioned it and came public with it, there hasn't really been much news with it moving forward. Compared to the reconciliation process with the third stimulus check package, at least every single day something was happening, even though it was boring and drawn out, at least something was happening every day. As of now, it doesn't seem like there's much movement. We don't know when they're going to have the vote, what's officially in it yet, but I'll keep you updated. There's also a petition on Biden to cancel student loan debt, and this petition has gained over 1 million signatures. So this is the petition right here. So cancel all federal student loans. This one has 1,013,000 signatures so far. Basically, this is just to cancel student loan debt. So far, we have two different proposals: $10,000 in federal student debt and $50,000 in federal student loan debt. One of the people in charge of federal student loan debt being of $50,000 canceled is Elizabeth Warren, and she also wants to pass the stimulus package or the infrastructure package and American Families Plan through reconciliation. Here she is talking more about the process moving forward with reconciliation and the American Families Plan.
But, Senator, Republicans say that the price of this bill is way too high. The difference on the two proposals is miles apart. Can you meet somewhere in the middle there? And if not, are you prepared to go to the budget reconciliation process again?
So, look, I am prepared to go to budget reconciliation. I'm somebody who thinks that the filibuster should not be used to give Republicans a veto on things that this country needs. But keep in mind the things we're talking about. We're talking about roads and bridges. We're talking about child care. Democrats and Republicans across this nation need roads and bridges. Democrats and Republicans across this nation need child care. There is bipartisan support for the changes that we need to make. And the idea that there are folks in Washington who don't want to do it, that just means the rest of us need to get out there and get in the fight and push our elected representatives in Washington so that we make the investments in this country that we need to make going forward.
So, Senator Warren, you're right. There is bipartisan support out there in the country for a lot of the things in the Democrats' bill, and yet in Washington there's not. And the argument against it from Washington is it's going to add too much to the national debt. It's going to somehow bankrupt the next generation. We should run the country like a household. You know this stuff better than most senators. So, simple question, does the deficit really matter these days?
So, look, why is it that Republicans talk about the deficit only when Democrats are talking about let's invest in child care and canceling student loans and making sure that we have care for the elderly? Either you have a matter of principle that you think it's always a problem or you don't.
Senator Elizabeth Warren is also one of the people who wanted the $2,000 per month stimulus check. So this is the Senate version of the $2,000 per month fourth stimulus check, along with Ed Markey as well as Bernie Sanders. Also, Elizabeth Warren wanted the increase in benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. So those two items are supported by senators, Democrat senators, but hasn't yet been entered into the American Families Plan or the Infrastructure Plan. But she has promoted it, and in the past, before the election, but since the election has happened, she hasn't really mentioned the $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. I'm really not sure why all these politicians are dragging their feet. Yes, some of them are doing a great job of promoting great things, but when it comes to campaign promises, like the $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries, it seems like as soon as people got elected, they just kind of went silent on it, which I think is really messed up. Also, regarding the Social Security, the only proposal we have so far, as of recent, is just for SSI. We don't have any other Social Security beneficiaries yet, but I'll keep you updated on that. Subscribe to the channel if you want the latest on the fourth stimulus check, Social Security increase, student loan debt, $15,000 home buyer credit, as well as a lot of the other stimulus provisions that may be included in the package coming up. Also, the child tax credit. You may want to opt out of a monthly child tax credit payments. Here's the reason why. So the child tax credit is going to be in effect starting in July, and that's going to be the $250 per month or $300 per month. According to this article, the reason why it was saying that you could opt, or you have the choice to opt out of it on a monthly basis, or you could have it as a one lump sum. The reason why you may want to opt out of it is if you have a big payment, a large purchase that you have next year, and you don't want to collect the money on a monthly basis, you could just get it all in one lump sum. So that could either be $3,000 or $3,600 depending on your child's age. Also is saying that if you do opt out of it and you get it as a one lump sum, you're going to have to wait until the IRS does your taxes, and then you'll have to wait for that payment. IRS is severely behind on taxes too, so there's over 30 million returns that are going into manual processing. One of the reasons why is they're saying that the changes in the tax code, limited resources, outdated IT systems, and a backlog of unprocessed 2019 tax returns. So it's your choice whether you want to get it on a monthly basis or a one lump sum. Let me know down in the comments below, what would you prefer to get for the child tax credit? Next, let's talk about how the President Biden's economic advisor pushes for the global corporate tax minimum to counteract a proposed U.S. increase. So here she is right now on Fox News.
And joining us now, Cecilia Rouse, chair of the President's Council of Economic Advisors. Ms. Rouse, let's start by putting President Biden's plans in historical context. Adjusting for inflation, the programs passed during the New Deal cost $856 billion. Recovery from the Great Recession in 2009 cost $1.8 trillion. But in just over 100 days, President Biden has proposed more than $6 trillion in new spending. Ms. Rouse, you really want to spend more than 6 times what the nation spent to get us out of the Great Depression in the 1930s?
Well, thank you, Chris. Let's be clear. The first part of what President Biden was spending is the American Rescue Plan. We're in an economic recession caused by a pandemic, and that was critical support which went to families and businesses to help them get to the other side of the pandemic. And even more important, it provided the funding for an effective and comprehensive vaccination rollout. It's because of those shots in the arms, it's because of the support that families and businesses have had that we've started to see our economy come back. Last week's numbers suggest our growth in the first quarter increased by about 6%. We see that unemployment insurance claims are coming down. So the first tranche of that was to get us to the other side of the pandemic. The other two parts are about investing in our future. To put the spending in context is in the last 40 years, we've been disinvesting from our economy. And so what these plans do is we put money into the foundations of growth. Those are infrastructure, research and development and innovation, education, because we know human capital is so important. And yes, the support that families need in order to be able to go to work, because allowing workers to go to work, increasing our labor supply, is also critically important for sustaining our economy and ensuring we remain the most competitive economy in the world.
And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully cheer you up a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I want to give you 3 things of the tip of the day. So first off, be happy, be grateful, and be humble. And then I want to do one more thing to you. Do the things that you want to do in a lifetime. Guys, you guys can do whatever you want, at least if you want to do it. Because I'm here for you, you guys like us.
And if you want to get filled in on the latest stimulus updates, you could click this link over here. I go over the child tax credit, home buyer's credit, other items like that. You could click that video over here. Or if you want to feel inspired and motivated, I recommend clicking this video over here. It's my Wise Vibes channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.